I feel like he's probably gonna make his future girlfriend very happy. I don't know. I have that suspicion that he could potentially make someone happy because, I mean, just look at his quirk ability. But anyways, jokes aside, my boy Ida proving himself. Like, yo, I'm very, very happy with this freaking chapter. Like, I'm legit very happy because I'm not just a Todoroki fan, I really love Ida, and it's been a very long time since Ida has gotten the time to shine. I mean, the last time he truly has shined, like, he's had little character moments here and there, helping out Izuku, Todoroki, we've seen this here and there, but the last time he's really had time to shine as a hero, it's been really since Stain, and I'm glad to see the man standing up, and actually probably going to be the reason why his teammates are going to be able to get out of this one. Because, I mean, you see the man, he's laying, like, face down. Like, the man is literally covered in ice and all that. And you have Mudman, he's like, you know, I'm sorry and all that. I mean, you have a time limit to your ability. Shouldn't you not use that at the beginning? That's what he was trying to say. And he's like, oh, you think I have a time limit? You know, my hero name, I'm always supposed to run no matter what. I'm always supposed to keep moving. And the man literally goes turbo mode and launches himself out of the ice. Like, he's literally upside down kind of, and he gets up and starts moving. It's really incredible when you think about Ida's ability, how he is as a quirk user. Think about it. Ida literally has engines in his legs, okay? Both of his legs have engines in them, and we do know that they can stall. We do know that if he pushes it too hard, you know, they can overheat, freeze, whatever. We know this. We've seen it kind of here and there throughout My Hero Academia. But to see how the man was literally covered in ice, like, you know, the ice was softened, obviously, it surrounded him, and then it was hardened back over again on him because of Mudman, and he was able to legit use his engines to get out of that. That's incredible. It shows that Ida has definitely improved a lot in terms of power, that, you know, even people are trying to stall his engines, it's not going to be that easy. He's able to keep on moving without stopping. I mean, the man literally came from the ground, like laying down basically, and started then running through the ground and ice, which is... It's very reminiscent of the Juggernaut. Like, if you ever know about the Juggernaut, like, you know, the villain, the Juggernaut in Marvel, then you know who I'm talking about. And I'm just like, this man just charging through the ice and the ground. It's pretty scary in a way. But okay, so let's analyze this chapter. Number one, this chapter is still, once again, very, very short. I mean, it does have a few more pages, thanks to the whole stuff with Toga at the end, but it's still a very short chapter, which I felt like after the hiatus that we got in, you know, for last week, that maybe we would have kind of a little bit of a longer chapter this week, but that wasn't really the case. And once again, concern. A lot of concern I have for Horikoshi. I do hope that everything is okay with the man, because, I mean, just seeing these short chapters, it's not normal. I mean, I'm fine with short chapters, it's not normal. So I really hope something bad's not going on with the man, and we might not have something that's similar to what happened to the World Trigger mangaka, Togashi from Hunter x Hunter, to Vagabond's writer, or Berserk, you know, different things like that. I really, really hope that this isn't kind of like a similar repeat to some other manga, because, I mean, My Hero Academia is such a quality series, and I would hate for it to, you know, have to deal with hiatuses all the time. But anyways, getting off of that, I don't want to get into that too much. Endeavor was at the beginning of this chapter for like one page, and it honestly was probably one of the best moments of the chapter. The first page of the chapter was probably the best moment. I'm not saying the stuff that Todoroki did, or what Class B did, was bad or anything, but just Endeavor as a character, he's definitely progressed so much. I mean, when Endeavor was first introduced, he seemed like a very one-dimensional character. He was just a crappy parent, he wasn't a good father, and, you know, many of us didn't like him. He just seemed very one-dimensional. That's what it looked like. And after everything that happened with, you know, the last arc, High End, and how Endeavor fought the man, to him basically fighting Dobby, and then Hawks working with him, just all the things that's happened in the previous arc. And then, even before that, when, you know, Todoroki, like, turned him down, he's like, you know, I won't be like you, you know, I'm gonna move on past you, and he just completely disconnected from his father, you know, Endeavor's been going through a lot of changes. It's been very gradual. He has definitely made a lot of progression. I mean, even the whole situation with All Might. I mean, when he saw All Might standing there before him fighting All for One, and the man was just literally like this worn-out symbol that barely could stand, but somehow still had this massive gap between him and Endeavor, it was just very crazy. And it really made Endeavor just scared, because he's like, he might not ever be able, no matter what, to surpass All Might. And even his children, Todoroki, might not even be able to surpass All Might. And there's just been so much progression with Endeavor's character since the beginning. Ever since he was introduced, he slowly had this progression. And the last arc really took his character progression to a whole new level. It really opened up many people's eyes to how Endeavor, he accepts that he's a crappy person. He knows he's a crappy person. He knows he wasn't a good father. He knows what he did to his wife, what he did to his children was messed up. But he's not just sitting there begging them and all that, like, you know, I'm sorry or whatever. He is trying to change, though, and he's realized it the hard way. The near-death experience that he has had with High End has definitely made him realize what's important to him, and it was his family. It's his son. It's sons and daughter, and his wife. He's realized that, and he's trying to take steps, gradual steps, to be a better father, to be a better hero, to be able to, you know, be displayed as the #1 hero, to properly hold that title. And at the beginning of this chapter, when he's looking at Shoto, you know, he's trying to talk to Shoto on the phone, it's very, you can honestly feel how realistic it is, because stuff like this does happen. And, you know, seeing how Shoto was reading his father's messages, and the father knew, he's like, I know you're reading my messages and all that, I want to talk with you. It's very sad, because you can see the father is putting out the effort, he is trying to change, but it's not something that's going to be easy, regardless of how we feel about Endeavor or how he's trying to change. Trying to communicate with someone that you deeply affected at an early age, like Todoroki, it's not something that someone can get over easily. I mean, Todoroki is still trying to get over those issues. I mean, we even saw with his exam, when he failed and all that to get his license, was thanks to his father, because he still held that hatred, that anger inside of him towards his father. And like I said, he's trying to improve, he's trying to change, and you know, I feel like this is what makes me really enjoy My Hero Academia so much, is because Horikoshi really knows how to make these characters feel human. They don't feel like cardboard cutouts. They don't feel like one-dimensional characters. There actually is growth in these characters. Endeavor has grown so much. I mean, the man literally realizes what he was doing and how wrong he was, forcing his ambitions on top of his son, trying to teach him a technique, doing what he did to his children, his wife. He blames himself. He's sad what he did. But it does not mean that automatically, because he feels these feelings, that he should be forgiven. It's a path of redemption, and he's still walking on that path, and it's not going to be an easy path whatsoever. That's why I like this beginning portion of the chapter, just seeing Endeavor trying to make steps to talk with his son. Now anyways, sorry about that, it got a little bit long. Let's talk about the Class A versus Class B stuff. So, for the most part, the situation with Todoroki's group going up against Tetsu's group, it's very simple. I mean, Tetsu, as we already saw, he's charging in blindly. He did get completely frozen over thanks to Todoroki. The only reason why you could see from the chapter he got out of it was thanks to Pony launching her horns on his shoulders and then launching him through the ice where he could get up close and personal to Todoroki, which, in all ways, that's very bad for Todoroki, because if there's one thing we do know about the man, is that Todoroki, he's not good in up-close and personal situations. It was a big thing we saw in the Stain fight. We know that Todoroki, he is not someone that can deal with that, because he's always been a ranged fighter. I mean, he uses his fire, his ice. He always uses range, and when someone's up close and personal to him, he can't really do much. I mean, he needs to strengthen his body, and he has taken steps to strengthen his body, but that's probably one of his biggest weaknesses. He relies too much on his quirk. It's someone like Tetsu, that is a all-bronze dude going in fighting and all that. It's going to be hard for someone like Todoroki to really face that man. I mean, it'll be hard for almost anyone, honestly, if you're a ranged type. So, right now, Todoroki was at a serious disadvantage, and the man right now, he needs some form of help to get him out of this, which that's where I think Ida's going to come in, because Ida knows if Todoroki gets captured or falls, then any hopes for really winning this, battle is going to be at absolute zero, because there's just no way you can win if Todoroki is captured, because of just how strong and how big his presence is in this team fight with Class B. Now let's talk about Class B for a second. Now, one of the clear, obvious things about this chapter is that Mudman is definitely the bread and butter of their group right now. At least of this little group we have in Class B, because we found out that he was recommended. He was a recommendation to UA. But also the man was able to actually get everybody on his team out of a sticky situation to where they could have potentially been captured or everything could have ended thanks to Todoroki. Thanks to his quick thinking, using his ability, Mudman, to be able to just, soften everything up and then, soften up the ice and then get everybody out of the situation, proved how strong he was. He was able to have such high reflexes to be able to counter someone like Todoroki, and then even Ida as well. It's pretty freaking impressive. He's definitely not someone that you can underestimate in terms of ability, but also in mind as well. We haven't seen how his physical combat capabilities are, but at the very least we do know that he is an individual that it has high reflexes. He's able to move very quickly to be able to soften things up, which is what he did to Todoroki's ice. So Mudman was definitely someone that kind of hard carried in this chapter on Class B's side, just because of how his ability works. Now, personally, I think Sin, he's probably not going to be probably as a strong contender compared to the others a part of Class B. I mean, yes, his abilities are just to have any part of his body to drill and all that, but I feel like, depending on how his body is or what it's made of, that could be a very bad quirk to have, because I think about this, okay? If his body can rotate and spin very fast like a drill, there is a likely possibility, because if he is just made of normal material like a human body, I mean, even probably slightly enhanced a little bit, because, I mean, at the end of the day, My Hero Academia, all their characters usually are a little bit physically stronger compared to normal humans in everyday life for us. But even then, though, his body, if it is made of normal human substance like flesh and bone and all that, if he starts trying to do that against a concrete wall, he's going to shred his fingers, or arms, legs, whatever. So, I feel like there's a lot of limitations to his ability. And maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe he could put something on his hands or arms to be able to drill into something. Now, that could be something. If he wears drills, like an actual drill on his hand, and he holds them like this, and then he spins, then that would make sense with his ability. But if he just uses his flesh just to spin on something, I feel like that's going to cause a lot of issues for his body, and he's just going to start breaking fingers and stuff. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Now, Pony, honestly, her ability is very simplistic. I expected a lot more from her, which, I'm not saying her ability is bad, but, I mean, when I heard, pony cannon or whatever, like horn cannon, I expected some form of laser to fire up out of her horns and just shoot a laser, but that did not happen. She's just able to detach her horns, use up to 4 horns if I'm correct, and control them individually to do what she wants, which is very similar to what Hawks is able to do with his feathers, so there is some similarities there. I mean, I'm not saying that her ability is weak, I expected so much different from someone that had like a horn cannon or whatever, but, I mean, we'll have to see in how it is applied in this fight. I mean, it was able to get Tetsu out, so it's definitely not weak by any means. Now, Tetsu, we already know how his ability is. He's, like, still, and he's just going to be able to, just be a brute, fighting up close and personal, and since he's close to Todoroki, he's already in his best home field advantage right now. The only one, like I said, that could potentially fight him would be someone like Ida, to get up close and personal, to just speed blitz the man. So, yeah, that's pretty much the chapter. That's what the chapter is about, besides the Toga stuff, which the Toga and Twice stuff we saw at the end, it's not really relevant, so to say, because, I mean, it's just a little spin-off thing just for jokes and having fun with Toga and how she wanted to write Stain a letter and all that, but it's nothing too crazy. I mean, it's just mainly fan service if you want to see the League of Villains, but that's pretty much about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below, and with that, Chibi out.